Hello everyone, it's Shah. I'm sharing a challenge entry for you today. I've done a page for Gina from the Firefly Studio. I think it's Firefly Studio 67. Gina is having a challenge where she is asking for a journal page because she wants to get all these pages together to make a friendship journal. I did one a little while ago and it was wonderful. I have these lovely journals now to go through with a little piece of everybody that entered, everybody that sent me something in there, which is really lovely. And Gina is doing something similar. So she's asked everybody to send a page to her. Now, what it was a A4 page folded in half and decorate all four sides. And she wants your information in there. So in there somewhere, so she can have contact with you. Now, this is my pages that I've done for Gina. They're wrapped in. So what I did with mine was they're wrapped in this. I've just tied this up to send it to her in this really lovely fabric. I use it quite a bit, this fabric, and it's very botanical. Got pretty flowers, roses. It's really nice. It's sort of got a pink tinge to it. And it's sort of it is a cotton, I think, but it reminds me, it almost looks like a linen, so it's really lovely, so I like to use that. So my pages, what I did was, so the A4 page folded, I use this vintage. I've got this, where is my book gone? It's really big, it's really huge. It's this really big old vintage, I don't even know what year it is. I just know it's an old one. Might have something in it, might not be. It's got the Queen in there. Published, might not be that old. 1947, 40, no, that's not that old. Probably 47, 49, 51. I'm not sure when it was. But anyway, it's got these really nice old pages. So I use that quite a bit. And but what I did was the pages that didn't have very nice words and things at the top, like who wants to see formaldehyde? I mean, ew. So I actually, to get my pages nice and sturdy, I actually laid 4 of these up to get like a really nice sturdy lot of pages. And then I glued them all, let them dry completely, and I did some stitching around the edges of all my pages. You can see there I've done a lot of stitching all the way through. And the other thing I've done is I've put a edge on here for I think it's called an edge lock, or a piece on the side here, so that Gina can sew that in to her journal, or not. She can actually cut it off if she wants to, because I've sewn it like so that she could cut it off if she wanted to. If she wanted to just go straight in from the middle to stitch it in. So to explain my pages, so the first page is that book page. I then put pieces of vintage music sheeting. You can see it peeping through all around. I then gessoed the whole thing, and to give it like something to adhere things to. I then did I watercoloured. I painted these flowers around the edge. They're meant to be peonies, but some of them look more like daisies, I think, but they're pretty, and they're watercolour and they're hand painted. And then I did some crackle paste on the top and the bottom in like a damask design. I have my image here is on some gauze, and then I stitched it on, and I have a corner metal piece here to decorate the image, which is from the Graphics Fairy. It's not, it's just a generic French type of poster, I guess, and I liked it because it had the rose down here and it matched in with the botanical theme. and I've done some gilding, just a couple of spots there, and I've used the Tim Holtz die cuts in these wildflowers just to give it a bit of interest at the side there, and I've got a cluster here with a little rose. Okay, so that's my front, and I've stitched all around. So that's my front page, and then the middle, that's just a sachet, it makes everything smell nice. It's a fig and rose sachet, so Gina can take that off if she wants to and put it somewhere else. So I'll just go to the second page here. So I have put a pocket, well, I've split it, but there's a pocket. I've got some scraps of lace, and I've got a cluster here, and I've laid this up. I've got a label. I've got an image here that once again, I used those book pages and I folded them up to make them very sturdy, and so that they're not, it gives a bit of sturdiness to the pages. The top, and this is a flip out up here, so I'll go to the bottom one first, and I've got a piece of this very old, I think it's a lady's handkerchief, this one here, and I've got another piece over here, and I use that like a little flip up. And then in here I have got some this book belongs to, and I've sewn, I've gessoed, I've put old music paper, I've left the threads on some floral cardstock. I've just got some tags there that I've stitched, gessoed. I've got some old pianola roll. I've collaged, put some labels on. I've just decorated some tags, and then just here I've stitched a little vintage piece of linen there. I like that image, and I've got a tiny little glassine envelope here, and I just put what did I do with that? Yep, I just did some, it was just a scrap with some French writing, and I put a botanical stamp on there, one of my flower stamps, just a little notelet in there. So that just it's one of those cute little envelopes, so I'll pop that back in there. And these just go in here. Be a little bit of a, because it's all just done. Yep, and then I've got these two. I didn't put any pulls on them, any tabs on them, because I thought it'd make it too bulky for Gina to put into the journal. And then at the top here, I have got I have backed this flip out. I've backed it with some like my desk. It's a scrap of this wallpaper that I've got. I have stitched that onto the back of the flip up, and then I've got a double lace pocket, and I've got a little journal card there with some stamping, and I've made a little baby journal here, and I've got a tea bag in there with a rusty safety pin, and I've just got pieces of little off-cut pieces that I've stamped. Little bits and pieces that I had left over from the project. I've just done another botanical one too, so I had quite a bit of those sort of things left over, so I thought I'd go with that theme. And that's just two little journal cards that I've put together like that to make it into a little journal. Okay. So that's, and the cluster is just once again some snippets, and a little wildflower, little flower there that I've just stuck on there. This side here, same thing. I've got a pocket. I've extended that lace, that vintage lace, right across. This pocket, I've got a label. I've got one of those Tim Holtz little flower wildflowers there that I've put on, and this one, I'll do that pocket in a moment, but this one flips out this way, and there's a bit more of that beautiful, it's like a linen hanky with an embroidered flower on it. And then I have in this pocket, I've got quite a large journaling card there with a stamped back on it with some pianola roll. I've put a tab on this one, like a paper clip, what do you call it? A clipboard tab. Would that look cool on there? That's just a nature themed little card, and there's another little journaling card there. So I've got those three there. The little one there. Just get those in there. That one there. I've laid them up. What I've done is I've laid them onto these two onto watercolour paper, and it's really nice when you put the ink on because it absorbs it, makes it look all vintage. It's really lovely. So that's those three. And then at the back of this flip out that flips this way, I have another little journal card with a tab pull. I'll put some music paper on there and a stamp. I've stamped it, and I've got some lace at the netted lace there. And then on the other side I've got a cluster. This is a side pocket, and I've got layers of lace going that way and a pocket. And I just have another couple of little cards, plenty of places to write on if she wants to write some notes or something, or add some things to it. Plenty of places there. So that's those two pages, and then my last page is a vellum pocket that I've put on here. I've got some lace. Must have something on my desk. I've got some lace at the bottom here, and this is like I said, a vellum pocket, an image from the Graphics Fairy. I just thought those birds were just beautiful, love them. And when you take it out, you can see all through. That's like what I did on the front page. You can see all the music sheet, the book pages, all gesso. And that's another big journal card right there. And I'll put a little tab on the side to pull it out with. And it's all stitched, so there we go. So that's that page there. So that's my pages for Gina. So I'll get those off in the mail to Gina, to her tomorrow, and hopefully they won't take long to get to you. And who knows with the post, I mean, we'll see how we go. But hopefully it won't take too long, but I'll definitely get that off. I will package it up now and get it off to you, and yep, and I'll be checking in from time to time, seeing all the beautiful entries you get. So there we go. So I hope you all enjoyed looking through my entry for Gina, and thank you all for stopping by, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.